probably. Yeah, now it's back. It happened to me like once per month, but I'm not sure what it is. Like my internet is stable. I don't know. Per month, but I'm not sure what. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. My internet is stable. 1 2 3. Sure. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. My internet is stable. 1 2 3. Okay, it seems it's working. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. Okay, I will save it in 2 parts and okay, sorry, I'm back.
Hello.
Sorry for that.
It's all right. So yeah, to answer your question, I think I'm always like looking for inspiration. But I think that's part of it, like part of being at a small studio, where you're given that trust to like have extra responsibility. I think it's like it's kind of part of the job. Like I wouldn't if I wasn't always thinking about new ideas, like I wouldn't not and all of us weren't, then we wouldn't be able to.
There's the dedication and the passion part.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's because we all care about it and we love what we're working on.
True.
And it's like very close to our hearts.
True. How do you balance not to be influenced too much from other games or other forms of media during your work?
That's a good question. I think as a human, you're always influenced by stuff.
True.
But I think it's really important to not copy stuff, right?
True.
Like you can take inspiration from it, but you have to like take it almost be quite distant when you're looking at it. Like I might look at a character and be like, oh, I really like the way they've technically done this thing. Like I like the way they've done the hair, like or I like the way they've done the scales on this dragon. But I'm not going to look at it and be like, yeah, I really like the way they designed this entire dragon. I'm going to copy this. It's like you can grab small elements of stuff. And the person who designed that dragon probably grabbed small elements from another one, and they grabbed it from another one, and it traces back to the first drawing of a dragon ever made, right?
True.
So I think like you're always going to be inspired by stuff. And I think as an artist, like if someone is inspired by something I make, I'm completely happy for them to be inspired by what I make and take inspiration from it. I think that's kind of part of being an artist. But I think like copying something or like taking like big ideas and like something that someone's worked really hard on as your own, I think that's where you've got to draw the line. So I think if I ever realize I was taking too much, I think that's when I'd be like, yeah, it's too much. Like that's not my idea anymore. So yeah, it's definitely a balance.
Throughout the years, from like 10 years ago to now, I feel like there have been a lot of like cheaters in multiplayer games. I think that's also an important topic to discuss since the Bornus is a symmetrical multiplayer game. How do you guys would like to deal with cheaters? Or have you?
So we've partnered with Ace Anti-Cheat.
Okay.
They did like a big signing ceremony. I'm pretty sure it was with Ace Anti-Cheat. They big at Gamescom. They did a signing ceremony. So we're like on it. We are aware that it's definitely a problem, especially for a free-to-play game where people don't have to spend £50 or $50 to like it. If it's free to play, like they might not care as much. So it's definitely something that we're on. Basically, we're on it. It's definitely a problem that we don't want to have. So yeah, we're working with Anti-Cheat on that.
Did you had, by the way, any cheaters in the playtest so far?
I don't think so. Okay. I mean, if we did, I didn't notice.
I see.
But obviously, it was quite a small playtest. Like Gamescom, there's no way there are going to be cheaters there because they were like playing on computers.
True.
Unless they bought like a little USB hack stick or something. But on the Halloween playtest, you know, there was theoretically enough time for people to make it. But I think like I don't know how cheats are developed for games, but I don't know if they take a while to develop specific cheats and stuff. I'm sure they do. So yeah, maybe we haven't had it open for long enough to see that yet. Hopefully we never see it, but I think like that's something that we don't want to be caught off guard by. So yeah, we're working with Ace Anti-Cheat basically on that.
I see. If it was your personal decision to deal with cheaters, would you like ban them instantly, or would you rather, if you had the time, take the time to talk with them? Because I read an article about like the Black Ops series creator that like they started with a very different route of like not punishing cheaters but realizing why they are cheating, because the creator of Black Ops series believed that those people who cheat, they are the most passionate players about the game itself mostly, and they cheat because like they want to, you know, reach a high standard. And even if you look at these bigger streamers, they also caught up been cheating in all of those games, even if it's Apex Legends on Battlefield games or Destiny or other AAA and indie games as well. As for the multiplayer parts, do you believe in like the punishing parts and, you know, not letting people play it if they cheat, or do you believe in second chances and talking with those players and probably they will
Yeah,
change for the better?
that's a really good point. I think you're right. I think someone probably wouldn't cheat on something if they didn't care. Like they wouldn't cheat if they didn't care
True,
about it.
true, true, true.
So I think you're definitely right. Uh,
It
I
wasn't me
think,
who had said that. It's not the credits not goes for me, so it's just what I read. But it's a
yeah,
good thing to
but
have
I think it could be. I
as a
think you're
topic.
probably right. I think talking to each cheater probably would be a lot of resources that we
Okay,
probably don't have.
okay,
So if I had the option to talk to them, and be like, you know, why are you doing this? Then maybe I would, but I don't know if we'd have that option. But I don't know how we're going to approach it. Um, I feel like, I mean, if they're ruining the experience for a lot of other players, they probably should be banned because at that point, yeah, they might like the game, but if they're ruining their experience, then they shouldn't be playing it. Like it's, you know, it's not fair on other people. But I don't know. Yeah, I think it depends on what they're doing as well. Like if they're cheating something in a very like, I don't know, passive way, like they're just like, I know that I know that with Fortnite people used to like cheat in like costumes of characters that didn't exist. Like they'd be playing a Spider-Man before he ever existed and stuff.
true.
I feel like that is like not as big of a deal because it's not hurting anyone else's gameplay. It's just
Exactly,
that person
exactly.
kind of wanting to experience something different. Like
True, true, true.
I don't know, they put on some sort of cheat that like their gun sounds weird or something like that. Like I think at that point it's like more just like chat to them, be like, "What are you doing?" But I think if they're
Personal
cheating and
gain,
ruining the
yeah,
experience,
for their
yeah, if they're
story
ruining the experience, then yes, yeah,
experience. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us know, by the way, if there is any question. Like I said, speak up, speak up. Don't just be lurking out there. Don't just be lurking out there. Release date. We haven't talked about the release date. What are the plans of the release date of the Bornless, or is it a secret thing so
It's
far?
still a secret,
Okay, secret.
aka we aren't actually sure yet. I think we need to see. We don't. I think we don't want to release too late to the point where like people moved on from the idea of it.
I see.
We have quite a lot of wish listers. We have like 250,000 people wish listed the
Okay.
Bornless,
Okay.
which is like a very big number and a lot more than we ever
True.
expected to get.
True. True. True.
So we don't want to wait so long that they're over it and they've moved on to something else. But also, we don't want to release too early and give someone a bad experience because I know that if you release with a bad game, it can easily just mean that people just go, okay, yeah, that game sucks and never try it again. So it's a hard balance of like striking at the perfect time, basically, when the people are gonna still be interested in it, but the game is ready for them. If you're a big game like Cyberpunk had a very rocky release, but people wanted to love it so much that they gave it that benefit of the doubt and they came back a year later and it was good. People might not give a small game they've never heard about the benefit of the doubt and come back if it's not perfect. So yeah, we have to release with something I think pretty good to impress people enough to keep playing.
I see. I see. So since there was a comic version of the game, or a lore-oriented
Yeah,
comic version of your game, do you believe that the Bornless could be this IP of like connecting multimedia resources, like having a comic or a TV show or a movie?
I think so. I
Okay.
honestly think a lot of the lore and like what we're creating is really cool.
Okay.
I think it's like very unique and I think it's very interesting. I think there's a lot of depth to it.
Okay.
We play with the game at the moment at least it's in duo, so you're always with a partner.
Okay.
And those duo characters, like I mentioned about the witch and that guy with the wooden head, like there's a lot of lore between the between the partners. So you don't have to play as the matching duo. Like if you
I
pick
see.
one skin and someone picks another, it's okay. But lore wise, those skins have a lot of lore and a lot of
I see.
chemistry together. Like we have these two cops, Harry and Denzel. They see like detectives that are trying to keep the whole of the town like okay, and they're like battling all these demons as these like policemen basically. So yeah, I think there's a lot to work with. I think we've got a lot of really cool stuff and a lot of character in it. It feels, I think, at least from my opinion, I feel there's quite a lot of soul in the game, and I think yeah, it could be something pretty cool.
I see. I see. So what about the matchmaking system? What kind of matchmaking system are you guys aiming for with your game?
So the exact amount of players is I'm not certain on it yet.
Okay.
I think at the moment it's somewhere between 12 and 16 will be total in the map.
Okay.
But basically, you just partner up with your duo or go in solo, and you'll get partnered up with a random person
Okay.
as your duo.
Okay.
You just go in and you jump into the map, and there's like VoIP, so you can hear people who are nearby. I think that's one of the really fun systems we've implemented. Like that's really changed the game, allowing like with VoIP, you're able to almost allow the players to role play mechanics that don't quite exist. Like we don't have a complicated trading system of weapons, right?
I see.
But over VoIP, you can go, oh, I'm going to trade with you. Let me give you my Car 98 and you give me your Tommy gun and I'll throw in this for you as well, a bit of gold or something. And they go, oh yeah, okay, good trade. Like VoIP allows almost like a D&D like role playing element to our game, which kind of makes the mechanics feel so much more depthful than they can ever be in just like normal mechanics. So like, yeah, basically jump in and you have VoIP, so you can talk to your new teammate if you've never met them before. You don't have to do over Discord. You can be like, hey, okay, and let's go, jump in my car, whatever. So yeah, basically the idea is jump in and play pretty much.
I see. I see. And are you guys planning to have like a skill-based matchmaking system or a network connection-based system in the competitive scene? Because you mentioned that you guys aiming for the
Mhm.
competitive scene with your game as well.
I think we're not sure.
Okay.
I don't know personally. Um, at the moment, at least, I don't think we have enough players to like when we do small play tests. Like skill-based matchmaking will be really tough. So at the moment, you just jump in and play.
I see.
And we've seen some like crazy good players that just destroy everyone and win the game instantly. And like those players probably would need to be separated off in order for the game to feel balanced.
I see.
So yeah, probably would at some point have something slightly skill-based, but we got to work that out. I don't know how we'd even approach that.
I see. So, as a person who experienced games as a player and as a developer too, what do you think makes a game stand out, and what your goals as a player is to have in a game to stand out for you?
For me, what always stands out, I think, is I mean, it's kind of what makes a game, but like mechanics and art,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I think for a game to draw someone in, unless it has like crazy mechanics that like you can see from a distance, in order to draw someone in, I feel like you need to have a game that looks visually amazing or interesting. Like having these weird demons and seeing kind of like all this cool stuff. It's like, oh my god, that looks really cool. I want to play that. But I think the mechanics are potentially what keeps you there, because after you've played the game for like 100 hours, like you're probably not looking at the art anymore. You're just playing the game and you're kind of immersed in it. And I think if the mechanics don't hold up, it's gonna not feel as good. And I think the staying power of the game and like the ability to hold you there is gonna dwindle. Um, so I think like I look for what looks visually like interesting to draw me in first, but I
I
think
see.
mechanics are so important.
I see. And do you
But
believe?
sometimes,
Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
go
Go
for it.
for
Go
it.
for it.
No, no, go for it. Go for it.
I was going to say like sometimes the game has a mechanic that is the main feature,
I see.
and it's just like so cool that
True. True.
you
True.
played the game for the mechanic.
True.
And the art might not even be anything special, but the mechanics, and you can just see like how it's played is so interesting that you just want to play it.
True. 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 Do you think like for people who will love your game, they will stay to your game for years because of the fun factor, or is it more important to have like constant updates, or it's something in the middle between those?
I
How do
think
you
we
see
will
it?
be updating, like adding new weapons, adding new costumes, adding like new skins, adding new stuff. I think games do become stale when you don't update stuff
Okay.
for
Okay.
sure. Like if a multiplayer game releases and never has updates, I think it can quickly die because
Okay.
people, especially with the like modern age of constant content, like you go on Instagram or TikTok, you have so much content.
True. True. True.
People
True.
get bored very easily these days, which makes our job a lot harder to keep people there.
True.
If I think like the amount of hours I used to spend on like Modern Warfare 2 or something when it was released, I don't think they ever really changed the multiplayer of that game, or maybe they did, but it was like barely changed. But I still played the hell out of that game. And my friends, we'd all come around, we'd drive my PlayStation together, like 4 player split screen.
Yeah, but like I said, it's the gunplay in my opinion, because in
Yeah,
FPS shooters especially, it's really the gunplay which always stands out. And if the gunplay is
definitely,
immersive and stands out, it will like take the people's attention, and
definitely,
suck
um,
them into the game itself.
for sure. But I think also like nowadays, I'm pretty sure Black Ops 6 probably will be updating their multiplayer all the time.
True, true, true.
But maybe back then on the PS3, it was just a different era. Like short form content barely even existed back then.
True.
If I watched YouTube, it was like an hour long video or like a 30-minute long video.
True.
I think people's expectation of how much content they had to receive was very different.
Exactly.
And I think nowadays we have such a big tolerance for like, or we have such a low tolerance for boredom.
Exactly.
So I think
Exactly.
Fortnite has stayed so relevant because every day almost something new
Something new
appears in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wouldn't be here. Is it almost like it probably over 6 years now, something like that, 7 years
7
that
years or
Fortnite's been
something,
out. It wouldn't be if it was still the first season, nothing had ever changed. I think the game would have died.
True.
I think even though the mechanics were really fun and the building mechanics were very interesting and everything's like the game caught on for a reason, I don't think it'd be what it is today if they hadn't continuously updated stuff.
True.
I played Apex Legends for the first time in about 4 years last week. The game was completely different from how I last played it. Like completely different. But if you play the game consistently for 4 years, you wouldn't even notice it had changed. You would think this is the same game. But to me, it was literally like, you know, where you like replace a broom handle and the head of the broom. Like, is it even the same game anymore? It felt like a completely different game from what I remembered. But the reason it's still relevant is because it's evolved and it's changed and it's kept players so engaged because people get bored of stuff staying stale. So the goal would be to continuously add stuff. Like the demons are a very cool mechanic. Adding new demons in to play as, new demons to unlock, new cosmetics. I think they keep people there because people want to show off and they want to have cool cosmetics. But I think adding stuff that changes the gameplay is primarily what keeps people there.
True.
Like new weapons. Oh my god, new weapons come out. Oh, okay, there's a new spell. That's pretty cool. The map has suddenly changed. Like we've been sucked out of this map into a whole new location. Suddenly we're in the desert or something, and it's a completely different location. I think like that's what keeps games alive in this day and age, is like having to just update stuff, which is so hard for a small team like ours. Like, how can we compete with the amount of updates and stuff that people expect from a big game? So that's going to be a big challenge that we have to work out. How can we make very impactful changes the easiest for us to make? Like adding a new demon is very, very impactful, but it wouldn't be as time consuming for us as making an entire new map.
True.
So maybe we can make big changes that don't like take us a year to make. So we basically got to be very intelligent with how we approach that, I think.
I see. Thank you. Oh, there is a question, by the way, from Minnie. Let me read it. She's saying that if there is something that she's scared about, because she always scared about like horror genre games, then the Bornless is something like that she's scared about to see. But it looks good, and for her it's really like it's very appealing to for her to play with.
Awesome.
Are you guys planning to have multiple localizations? That's her question.
As
and
in,
what kind of localizations are you planning to have?
What do you mean by that?
Like the subtitles.
Oh, okay.
The menu, you know, the UIX and everything.
Yeah, so it's basically translated for different languages.
Okay.
I'm not. I mean, we definitely will. Like, we want this to be as widely played as possible. So yeah, we definitely will be doing that.
I think that she also like asked for Hungarian language, but I'm not sure. But I can tell that she was asking Hungarian.
I'm not exactly sure on all the languages yet.
I see.
But I know that we will be like aiming to make it as playable as possible. I know that like we've been looking into like publisher in China as well. Like, how are we going to get into China? Because China's a massive is like a massive hotspot for games.
True.
And there's so many gamers in China, but publishing your game in China is really tough, and it has to be translated well to Chinese, and it has to be approved by like the government and everything. Like, it's a really big deal. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that it's quite tough.
For scripts, it would also make sense, right? To
exactly
learn.
So like we've been chatting to people about publishing in China. Like, we're definitely aware, and we're ambitious that we want our game to be global. We want everyone to want to play it, and we're aware that, you know, not everyone speaks English. I feel lucky that like the language that I speak is so widely spoken, but we can't be naive and think that everyone speaks it. And we can't shut players out from it because of that. So yeah, we'll definitely aim to make it as open as possible to people to play.
And I respect that, because I think that a lot of big companies are now way more closed-minded about like the decision of making like
Yeah,
localizations for bigger games, because they only make localizations for those games which sell
yeah.
in some
I mean, like, I
countries.
can't promise that we're going to translate for
Oh,
every
it's
single language on
understandable, yeah,
Earth.
but I mean, like, it's
Um,
it's a good
but
mindset of
like, we'll
yours
basically
and
do
your
our
teams.
best with what we possibly can
Yeah,
do. Like,
yeah, yeah.
if we are able to translate to Spanish, to Chinese, to French or something, like, we will do our best. Um, maybe not everything will be translated. Maybe like on release, the core elements will be translated, like the core that how to interact with the game. But like the goal would be, of course, like in an ideal world, everyone can play it. So we'll do our best, basically.
Nice, nice, nice. Thank you for the question, by the way, and for the answer
Thank you.
as
Yeah.
well. Thank you. Okay, we talked about a lot of topics here. Is there anything that we haven't discussed and you would like to talk about? You can think of anything that we haven't touched as a topic
I
or a
think we've spoken about
question?
a lot, really. No, I think you're a very good interviewer. like
Thank
like
you,
you've
thank
you've
you,
asked a lot of like amazing questions.
thank you so much
Um,
for that.
I think we've kind of gone over everything, really. Like, or at least everything we want to chat about. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been really, really lovely.
What would be, so my closing question would be, what would be your message for the players who are waiting for the Barless?
I think my message would be, let me think. Okay, first of all, thank you for waiting because I know that it's been a while. Like, I mean, we announced it quite very soon into its development, so it feels like a while. A lot of big studios will release, they will announce it 6 years into development and release it after 8 years, so it feels like less amount of time. So basically, we're still working on it a lot, but we really appreciate you. Um, I think be open minded because we're not a AAA studio, so there might be some areas that aren't polished or aren't fleshed out to the level that you'd expect from a giant team like Treyarch or whatever. Um, but we're doing our best. I think like every single one of us in the entire studio is doing our best to make the best possible stuff we can. And I think if you like see past that, and I think if you see like if you have that in your mind and realize like we're all trying, we're all humans, we're trying our hardest, you'll appreciate what we're making. I think it's very cool. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that, and thank you for your honesty throughout all the answers
Yeah,
in this interview. Really appreciate it, and thank you, Mini, also for the question.
thank you.
Like I said, I will need some more of your means of stream, but for
Yeah, that's
those
right.
who were watching us, thank you for so much for tuning in today for our episode. And yeah, don't forget to wish this the game and be part of the playtest if they will be out there. By the way, when is the next time for us players to have a playtest? Do you know something about it, or is it
So we just
public
had
to
one
share?
last week. We're not quite sure
Okay,
yet.
okay,
I know that the marketing and comms people, the team, they want as many playtests as possible,
okay.
but playtests are like so tough for us to do because we have
I see.
to polish up a bunch of unfinished stuff. Like if we're working on reworking big features, we have to rush that to meet the deadline, or there'll be like features that just don't work in the playtest. So every playtest almost sets us back a little bit as we have to like kind of like rush stuff or finish stuff up as more quickly than we would have wanted. So hopefully we've got a bit longer until the next playtest, but we're very public with it all. Like we'll let everyone know when these playtests are happening and stuff. If they join the Borderlands Discord as well,
True, 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 true,
they'll be told.
true.
So yeah, it'll be soon.
Thank you so much again. Okay, thank you everyone for being with us here
Thank you.
today. I hope that you will enjoy watching back the VOD version or the edited version of our interview later this year as well. And thank you for joining us for today's live interview with Fred from the Bornless team. Thank you so much. And thank you, Fred. It was really an honor for me. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye.